my name is Christina Foxwell. I am originally from Africa, and I moved to Australia 17 years ago because I fell in love with an Englishman living in Australia. I am not a doctor, but I'm going to introduce myself to you. I run a small global practice called Ignite Purpose. I've been in learning and development, human behaviour for the last 25 years. I turned 50 in October, and I am a granny of two of the most beautiful little boys ever. Thank you. And actually, as I stand in front of you today, I'm just a human. How good is that? Are you human? Are you sure? I thought you were Superman, Supergirls. How many of your patients feel you've got to be super? Yeah, amazing. Superman, Batwoman, Catgirl, whatever you want. Like, amazing. You're human. I'd like you to do something, please. Take your right hand and put it on your heart. Can you feel your heart beating? Please tell me it's beating, otherwise we're just going to jump in and fix it. It's beating?
Somebody says slow.
Coffee is outside there. I'm sure it'll sort you out in 2 ticks. Why am I introducing myself to you like this today? Because what does it matter what I do? Isn't it who I am? See, over the last 12 years, I've been coaching doctors, nurses, healthcare, CEOs, executives. Don't ask me which is most crazy. We all are special. Okay? I did have an orthopedic surgeon who told me I was very entertaining, but I did absolutely nothing for him. And his chair of his board had asked me to help him. So I said, well, why don't we just keep hanging out? He's no longer with that organization. Only because he forgot who he really is. I'm going to share with you a little bit about a research project that I'm very passionate about that we kicked off 18 months ago. I have an uncle who's a pathologist. He is 90. When he was 78, he started a pathology lab in Cape Town. Anyone been to South Africa? To Africa? Where the big animals could kill you, not the small ones like in Australia. So in Africa, 78. My dad died when about 4 years ago. My uncle phoned me. He kind of puts the iPhone here, so all I see is his one eye. And he said to me, I've missed out on everything good in my life. I mean, what are you talking about? You were a lecturer at university, you were dean of pathology, you were one of the most renowned pathologists in A.R.I.S.E, you started your own path lab at the age of 78. What are you talking about? He said, I missed you. I missed your brothers. I missed my brother. That was 4 years ago. 18 months ago, I should actually follow the slide, shouldn't I? How boring. So I'm going to share a little bit about that. 18 months ago, I'm sitting on a phone call with my brother who runs a care home for aged care people in the UK. It's his wife's family business, and he's been the director of operations there for about 20 years. You bored yet? Are you bored? No. Are you with me? Okay. And he said to me, Tina, which is what my family call me, I've just heard the most awful news. I said, what's going on, Paul? He said, a general practitioner has committed suicide in Sainsbury's parking lot. I said, what did you just say? He said, committed, and not just committed suicide, she literally made sure that nobody would be able to revive her the way she took her life. Now that hurt. I was just, why? That made me curious, because I'm very curious. what's going on in our healthcare systems across the world. Actually, let's just get down to it. What about the human beings that are supposed to be these amazing people who touch our lives every single day to give us care? Who cares for them? Thank you. It's true. You go to the doctor doesn't give you what you want, you're angry with the doctor. What a stupid doctor. Okay? You go to the hospital, someone's doing the best they can with what they have, it's not perfect, so you get angry. Mind you, when you make a mistake, and we all can make a mistake, we expect perfection, we expect people to give us a bit of a breather. So I got curious about this, and as we expanded our business globally, over 18 months, I've expanded into 6 different countries. Ask me what's going on with my head, please. Okay? As well as doing the research study, as well as doing my regular work, and taking every single cent I have and putting it into the research work. So I partnered up with a doctor in the UK. Her name is Kerry Thomas. She's got an OBE. Do you know what an OBE is? It's some Queen thing. The Queen says you're very special. I didn't know. I came from Africa. But she created an end-of-life process on how to work with patients who were dying in their families. And she said to me, my daughter's in university studying to be a doctor, and her and her peers are wondering if this is really the best thing to do. And they are really stressed out, and in the UK there's a doctor challenge. Do you know that? Okay, there's issues. In Australia, we need doctors and nurses, but our board that puts everything together for people to come in has made it so incredibly hard for you to come in. Sometimes you can't come in. You can, but you'll attest to that, right? You've got to jump through 100 hoops to get in. So we know why it's there. It's to keep the organisation and the country safe. We get that. But there's a problem. We're losing doctors and we're losing nurses. We're losing healthcare professionals. Did you know that? People are burning out. Don't you think it's time we stop talking about it and start doing something about it? So I'm doing something about it, and I need to help people join me to do something about it, because it's enough is enough. I don't want to hear another story like that. It breaks my heart. So we're just a small global organisation that decided to do something different because we want to stop talking and start doing. Don't you think that's okay? This is my lovely research team. Elena Mallory, she's a registered nurse. If you've ever heard the podcast called The Happy Nurse, or if you haven't heard of it, please find her. She's Scottish, so she has got a really Scottish brogue. She's beautiful, and she's going to talk to you about resilience. So I partnered up with Elena. She's a Scottish woman living in Australia, as you do. And a few years ago, she interviewed me before COVID for her podcast. I went on because I talk about making a difference to one person's life a day. It's all we need to do. It creates the ripple. So Elena worked alongside me as my research partner and worked with the nurses. I took on the med students and the doctors. I love it. Then we had Tammy Oliveira, who's my COO. She's based in the Philippines. She did all the data crunching. Dr. Kerry Thomas, she sat through all the program work with me, just in case any of the doctors that were on the program were at that point where we needed to take them and send them to someone more professional than what we could work with. And finally, Sarah is my adopted daughter. No, I just joke, but I met her a year and a half ago. She's based in the Philippines, and she is my breath of fresh air. She managed to coordinate this project. I'm very proud of these women. They are so brave. This is where our organisation is based all across the world. I would love to have a base here in the UAE and all of those places, but my husband, who's my accountant, said I'm not allowed, I've got to behave myself. No more. But I want to talk to you about the foundations of A.R.I.S.E. I told you about the story of suicide, did I? Yes. I've survived it twice. Do I look like I'm put together? Did Robin Williams look like he was put together? Do you know you don't know when it's coming? Because they're the people that smile and tell you everything's okay. And then tomorrow they're no longer here. You see, I'm going to ask you to write something in front of you. If I say the word shame, please write down what comes to mind. Shame. S-H-A-M-E. The word shame, please write down, what do you feel when I say the word shame? Shame. 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 All right, anyone got any insights for me? Shame?
People looking down on you.
People looking down on me.
Awful feelings.
Awful. It's yuck. Come on, give me another one. How do you feel if I say shame?
Isolation.
What's that?
Embarrassing.
Embarrassing.
I said shame on other people.
You put shame on other, did you say?
Shame on other people.
Shame on other people. In South Africa we go, oh shame. When someone tells us a bad story, oh shame. So I want to tell you what shame is. Shame is the feeling that there's something about me that's not worthy of love and belonging. Thank you, Dr. Brene Brown. So, shame says, I am bad. So I have another question for you. How many times do we experience shame in the work we do?
Occasionally.
Occasionally. All right, let's take you through med school. You go through med school, actually, it was a baby boomer thing. I know, because when my son was struggling with his mental health issues, he was wanting to commit suicide at the age of 14. He's now 20, he works with me, I am so proud of him. But I told my brother about it and I said to him, this is what's going on. He said, oh, just shame him. Dad did that to us, we're okay. I was like, yeah, I'm going for trauma counselling, thank you. Okay, so shame is the feeling that there's something about me that's not worthy of love and belonging. In order to create behaviour change in medicine, sometimes, and even in corporate, they shame us. Because shame is like being burnt with hot water. You don't want to do it again. It's isolating. How many of you feel lonely sometimes? You're in a room full of people and you're all alone. Is it just me? No.
Everyone, I guess.
We all do. Okay? So the General Surgeon of the US, Dr. Vivek Murthy, has done a study on what makes people sick in America. Do you know what it is, according to his research? Loneliness. Thank you. So shame separates me from you. So what happens with me then? I become?
Alone.
Thank you. I hope you're enjoying this afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay. Burnout. I don't want to tell you I feel bad, because what happens if you shame me? What happens if, and I sat through a few doctor wellness days, so I've got these doctors sitting around a room talking about not falling apart. And the one doctor said, if anybody has to find out that I am not okay, I will lose my license to practice medicine.
That's true.
That's true. So what do I pretend I am?
Happy and good.
I'm good. But when I drive home at night, I've got to sit outside that door before I walk in, because I might just fall apart. And you know what? I don't think my family want me to fall apart either. So who do I talk to? Okay.
Therapist.
Are you with me?
Yes.
I hope I'm creating a good picture for you. So I heard the story, I was like, right, I need to find evidence. And I know in my own life, I've got evidence. Because I have a book, you don't have to buy it, it's called The Glass Angel, it's my story. I have one book left. So I bought 2 books. I had 4 in my bag, but I pulled it out, my bag weighed too much. I need shoes. I'm just kidding. But I've got one more book. The reason I wanted to do this was because my life's changed. And I'll tell you how we did it. So I had to go and find evidence, so we did a research study. I had everyone doing research. Is this a true problem? Is burnout a problem in healthcare professionals? Yes or no?
A big
Okay.
problem.
What are we actually doing about it? Why?
Wellness retreats.
We just talk about it.
Yes. Yeah, it's true. Wellness retreats and
Wellness retreat, but that's a one-day thing.
yeah.
Okay, so you doctors, if I'm trying to lose weight and I go on a diet for one day, please help me. And then tomorrow I go and do the same stuff I've been doing all along. And then I come and see you and tell you I'm very unhealthy. And then you go, can we talk about what you're eating? And you're sure. I'll send you to a health retreat. Great. Come back. 3 weeks later, what am I doing? The same thing. See, it's neural pathways that need to be rewired. So I found the evidence. I said, all right, let's start connecting the stories. So firstly, we wanted to make sure that we were using the research from Dr. Vivek Murthy to be able to say we need communities to be formed around doctors and nurses, where they are doctors and nurses together. In actual fact, the one doctor said, let's throw nurses and doctors in together. I said, nah, that's not a good idea. Why? I said, because they're a different breed. In actual fact, in anesthesiologists, I'm going to have to create a separate program for them and a separate program for, orthopedic surgeons. Why? Because I don't want to sit here with you if we're different and tell you that I want to learn with you. So this is what came up with the med students. There's one thing that grabbed me. I know this is longer. I'm going to behave myself. Please. Are you sleeping yet? No sleeping. Okay. The one story that caught me, because we did a little group where we had all these med students around the table. 2 of them wanted to stop going to med school. Brilliant. Top of their class. One of them was going to step into being a doctor. And then she said, I didn't realise that being a doctor meant, as COVID, I was in the wards during COVID, and I had a video camera so patients could say goodbye to their families, like an iPad. She said, they didn't tell me I was signing up for that in med school. She said, and then when I felt like I was going to have a breakdown and I needed to get out of there and sit in my car, I've got the head doctor banging on my window going, suck it up, sunshine, get back in there. Please put your hand on your heart again. Oh. Is it beating? What are you? Say it again.
Human
Thank
being.
You know what, if I was that doctor, I would have hauled her out the car and held her and said, cry, let's go. Let's do a big old cry. This is shit. Sorry for the word. I'm African, forgive me. High expectations, physical and exhaustion, pressure to do the right thing. Be perfect. So, when I started taking the doctors and the nurses through the program, they thought, oh, here's another thing. You're going to teach us how to have a cute coping mechanism, like the diet trick, you know, whatever you're going to teach me. And then it's just so stupid. I'm going to sit for 10 weeks with you, and then I'm never going to change anyway. But let's do this anyway, because, you know, we want to be part of the change. I was like, thanks for that. Resilience is not me teaching you how much more you can take. That is not okay. Resilience is me helping you what you can let go of. Actually, you're going to help yourself because I'm not there. Can we do a quick activity? Are you bored? Okay. Take your right hand and squeeze it so tight. I want you to squeeze it so tight that your nails are going into your hand. Are you with me? You squeezing? Is it fun? Yeah, but if I thought this is what I'm going to do every day, I'll be doing it. Are you squeezing? I didn't say stop squeezing. Okay. How many of us run through life like this? Okay. Now, you're still squeezing, eh? Let it go. How does that feel?
Relax.
How beautiful is that? Resilience isn't just about bouncing back. At one stage, we'll stop bouncing. Because I'm bouncing with all the shit that I'm carrying with me. Imagine if resilience, in the old term, was like a big sticky ball. You know those rubber things that children throw against the wall? Yeah, and it catch. So imagine, as I go through life, my resilience is actually a sticky ball. So instead of it not picking up everything I've gone through, it picks up everything. So eventually, it's no longer bouncing. It's not oiled. Now I want to get you to think of something. If my neural pathways are no longer just wired through my survival brain, but my neural pathways are now starting to wire through my frontal cortex, and I can use my wise brain more regularly. Do you know, this is from Harvard, I've not been there, I will be there one day. If I am more peaceful and I'm using my frontal cortex and not my survival brain, 30% more accurate diagnosis as a doctor. Did you know that? You're not, how many of you drive to work or get to work and you don't remember how you got there? Is that just me? How many of you have arrived at work on a weekend thinking, what am I doing here? No, is it just me? Come on, thank you. Be honest. That is my survival brain just taking me on a journey. Most of us operate in our survival brain every day. I think it's time to rewire, and I think it's time to start finding ourselves. Imagine this. Wouldn't you love that? If you go for a walk, do you have a look at all the things going on around you, or do you just power down the street? You power down the street. I've watched people like you, I dodge you. In Australia, we've got beautiful flowers and foliage, and I touch the flowers. I was never like this. I was a ninja Barbie. I walked. Now I'm stopping, and my husband's like, oh, what are you looking at now? Look at the bee. Why? Because I've learned to be here. Yesterday is gone. I need to learn to let go. Today is beautiful because I'm here. Tomorrow is an opportunity for me to be better with others. Don't you like that? You know that Frozen song, Let It Go, Let It Go? Do you have kids? How many times do they sing that song? And eventually you go, I can't take it one more second. It's not easy to let go. So, do you like that? Resilience is not just about bouncing, but what we want to share with you, what we found through our research, it's about looking at how you bounce. Those moments where you've got to bounce is a gift. Learning, opportunity, not shame. So our A.R.I.S.E program, first we did a resilience program, then we went to a big GP conference, and the GPs walked around our stand like we had a disease. Do you know why? Because the word resilience was there. Yeah, as a doctor, that is an evil word. As a nurse, that is an evil word. Why? Because if I don't have that, I'm bad.
And it's also like putting increased pressure, like, you gotta be resilient, you gotta be resilient, you know? And it's like, I have a limit, right? At some point my environment needs to change. It's not always just up to me, right?
100%.
So it's just very unfair, like, you know, it's almost like I have to be resilient, but in fact it's my environment that's the problem, not me and my resilience. You know what I mean? I
love that.
And
Yes.
that's why people quit their job, because it's like nothing is gonna change and I can't accept any more abuse, and I just leave. And
Thank you. Did you hear this?
Yes.
Is this truth?
Yeah, I agree with it.
Who knew you'd get a powerful, crazy lady at the back end of your day? Okay, thank you, but that's truth. But I'll share something else with you. I'm not in control of the system. And in actual fact, when I've hit that space, I take my pain with me and I replay it in every other environment I go into. Because I've probably suffered a bit of PTSD.
yeah, it poisons your life. And
Poisons my life.
And that powerlessness that you feel because you can't change the system and you're just part of it and you can't do anything, it really affects, like, sorry guys, it affects like your personal life as well. You know?
100%.
You end up taking all that work stress back to your home, and that's not healthy either, but how can you prevent that?
you are absolutely talking to the points that came out in our research. I had the doctors sit around at the group, and I was expecting them to say, oh, my workload. Do you know what they were saying? I don't know how to connect with my family. I had one of our lead doctors, who's our ambassador in Africa, say to me, I have to sit in my car for half an hour listening to classical music to de-stress so I can walk into my house and be a human with my family. In actual fact, he's driving this program for us, the research in South Africa. So the good news is we're going to go for another 2 years. How exciting is that? Woo! The opportunity is, I don't talk about bad news, is we need people to go on the journey with us so that the research becomes momentum building. So we stopped the resilience because we didn't want to be treated like lepers, and we renamed the front of the program A.R.I.S.E, because this is about adaptability. The process that we took was 10 weeks, app-based, so you do it on your own. Every week, we're going to be doing about 20 minutes a day, okay? And I'm not going to prescribe what you're going to do, but I'm going to teach you, and I'm going to give you research and scientific facts, because you're medical people, right? If I can't prove to you what I'm teaching you, then you're not going to believe me. Damn. So then what we did was we said, okay, we're going to do this, and then we're going to teach you how to navigate adaptability. Apparently that building here in Dubai, the sales building, does it move? Someone said it moves. Okay. Have you ever seen outside of this gas station, I don't know if they have it here in the UAE, but it's those funny things with the arms that fly?
Many gas, not only gas stations, some other markets or shops.
Okay.
As well.
Does it get your attention?
Like something. Yes,
Okay.
it gets.
Is it flowing?
A sort of.
Wouldn't you like to feel that way? Instead of running into something, wouldn't you like to move with it? Okay, second thing, resourcefulness. Imagine seeing a patient and in your overwhelmed mind thinking, I can't, one more of these patients, I'm just going to kill someone. Because I told this patient 10 times not to do this and they keep doing it, I'm done. No? Alright? Or I think there must be a way to fix this. How resourceful can I be? It unlocks your ability to be resourceful. Inner strength. Who fills your tank? Who fills your personal tank?
You yourself.
You're supposed to. Do you know how?
Self-care.
Okay, so how about this? I'm going to ask you to quickly, on your notepad, see, I'm having fun with you because I want to give you something good for the end of the day, right? I'm going to ask you to write down 3 things you love about yourself. And you're going to do it in a note saying, Dear Christina, but you're not Christina, I'm just your name. I want to remind you that I love you because of the following 3 things. Come on, do it for me. This is your love letter to yourself. Mini love note. A mini love note. Now, as you look at it, do you believe it? Good. Because it's about loving you first. No amount of awards, degrees, recognition is going to make you feel you're the only person. So if we talk about resilience, it comes from you. So I sat with my PTSD doctor of psychology. He said, what do you want? I said, I want to surrender. He said, oh my God, am I going to put you into a hospital? I said, no, I'm not going to. I'm releasing. I'm at the point where I want to release. I want to release what I've been holding on to. Stress management. Do you like that one? Okay. So my husband and I, he's my CFO and my business partner, but he's actually got a job somewhere else. That's another story. We're standing at the door arguing about some big investment I've made that he didn't agree with. And instead of going into I'm just going to lose my mind, I'm watching the trees move. Now this is one of the techniques we teach. And as I did that, I could feel that I could take a different approach. And I looked at him and I thought, oh, Mr. Darcy, I love you. He calls me Bridget Jones. The last one is emotional regulation. Who gets angry here? Have you ever thrown your shoe at your child? When they run away from you because they're a teenager and they don't want to clean their room and it's disgusting? No? Well, that's just me. He said, that's child abuse, I need to go to the hospital. I said, no, you're not. That's just me losing my ability to regulate. I don't do that anymore. I'm peaceful. So I want to show you a quick clip. Do you have time for a clip? Or do you want to run out the door?
Yes, we have.
You want to watch a clip? Okay. I've put together parts of our research into a quick 3-minute video that's just going to show you the key reasons why we chose to put this research project. By the way, it's quantitative and qualitative, which excites me. Max? Oh, Max, that's okay. Is there sound? Can we up the sound? World of healthcare. Now everyone's awake. Are you awake? Resilience is not just an advantage, it's a lifeline. Healthcare professionals operate in high-stress environments, often making life and death decisions under immense pressure. This constant stress can take a toll on their mental and physical health. Interacting with patients who are suffering, delivering difficult news, and managing the outcomes of medical procedures add emotional strain. Emotional resilience is vital to prevent burnout and maintain compassion. Long working hours and demanding schedules lead to physical exhaustion and mental fatigue. Burnout, characterized by emotional exhaustion, depersonalization, and a sense of reduced accomplishment, is a significant risk. Building resilience is crucial for long-term career satisfaction and quality patient care. Resilient professionals provide higher quality care. They are more focused, empathetic, and better equipped to handle patient care complexities. The A.R.I.S.E Resilience Program is designed to address these critical needs. A.R.I.S.E offers training in stress management techniques such as mindfulness, meditation, and relaxation exercises. These practices help healthcare professionals manage stress effectively. The program includes strategies for emotional regulation, enabling professionals to handle emotional aspects of their job with composure and compassion. Recognizing the importance of physical health, A.R.I.S.E promotes regular exercise, proper nutrition, and adequate sleep to enhance physical well-being. A.R.I.S.E teaches time management techniques to help balance workload and personal life, reducing burnout risk and enhancing overall life satisfaction. A supportive community is fostered through A.R.I.S.E, providing peer support, shared experiences, and a sense of belonging that is crucial for resilience. The program encourages continuous personal and professional development with workshops, coaching, and tailored resources, helping professionals adapt and stay resilient. By addressing these critical areas, the A.R.I.S.E Resilience Program empowers healthcare professionals to maintain their well-being, deliver better patient care, and thrive in their demanding roles. Embrace resilience with A.R.I.S.E. There we go. Is that too loud? Is that okay? Okay, do you like evidence?
We love
You
evidence.
love evidence. Have you heard of Connor Davis? Resilience tool from the US? No. So we got permission, I had to pay a license fee, to actually use this resilience tool because we wanted to measure pre and post. Do you like that?
Hello.
Okay, good. So, can I tell you the first gift? We saw an 11.2 something %, I'll give you the number now, a shift in people's ability to manage resilience. That's massive. Over 10 weeks. And let me tell you something else. I thought the doctors wouldn't keep showing up. Sorry, doctors. Any doctors in the room? Because you're busy. Do you know they didn't miss one evening? I even had a doctor dialing from India who works with heroin addicts. He's a psychiatrist. It saved his life. I didn't know that. So the Connor-Davis assessment is to measure how much can it shift by. And in actual fact, we're keeping it in this program for a lifetime. Because I want to be able to check how I'm feeling as I'm going. And everyone can do it as many times as they like. I don't use this tool much. Now I feel very silly. You can all still see it, can't you? Here we go, I'm not going to mess around with it too much. So this is what came out in our research. These are the issues that people face. So shall we have some fun? How many of you have long working hours?
Sometimes.
Sometimes? Okay. High patient loads. In the UK, in one day, a doctor has to see 40 patients. 40 per day. That's a general practitioner. In Australia, it's quite similar. The challenge is about 2 hours of paperwork a day that has to be done. So when are you going to do it? Thank you.
Extra work.
It's hard, right? Emotional stress, okay, you don't have to raise your hands, but I can tell you emotional stress hangs out there for everyone. Admin burdens, because I just heard it when you were talking about surgery. Okay? Lack of support. How many of us feel that the healthcare system we're working in is giving us what we need? But I want to make this even better. How many of you feel that the colleague next to you sees you? Sometimes. So I'm going to give you the definition of connection because we spoke a lot today about communication, but actually what we're looking for in our healthcare systems is connection. Connection is the energy that exists between us, you and me. When I feel seen, heard and valued, and you feel seen, heard and valued. And because of that, you and I can talk to each other about feedback, about what's not working, about how we've got to make it work. And because of that, we get performance, better patient outcomes, etc. So how do we start fostering connection in our healthcare systems? We tell people not to be ninja Barbies or Kens because that generally helps, but we've got to take our armor down. Here's the research. Just after 10 weeks, so we did nurses, we did med students, and we did doctors. In actual fact, I couldn't get them off the phone. I do think some of them had a glass of wine in their hand, but that's okay too. So we interviewed them throughout the program. They did lots of assessment. It is still in the program because self-reflection is important, don't you think? So here are the key themes that came out. Because of the work we were doing, they were feeling more flexible. They were adapting to change better. They were navigating different patients better. They were using visualization techniques differently with difficult colleagues, with challenging systems. Second thing, they shifted to a positive perspective. Who knows what is good or what is bad? How about something happens in your life and you go, that's bad? Anyone like that? That's bad. As soon as I think that's bad, do you know how much of a bad day you're going to have? Everything bad that could possibly happen is going to happen because your brain is wired for what life isn't versus for what life is and what it could be. It is a neural pathway space. Mindfulness and reframing techniques. How do I reframe something in a way that actually gets connection? Dealing with challenges, community. I didn't realize how big the community piece would be for doctors, nurses and med students. It's the thing they come back for. Why? Because where else can they share how they feel? And then finally, that deep power of connection. Imagine being seen and heard by someone without judgment, which creates shame. Is that not beautiful? It is. Now, I will say to you, the nurses walked in like this into the program. The doctors came in going, okay, let's give this a go. The med students fell apart really quickly. So if there's any med students here, it's good. Because in actual fact, as med students, they are already, as younger people, they are already exposed to growth mindset, better mental health, work-life balance, all of that. I'm going to end today with two things. I'm going to play a video of what the doctors and nurses said about going through the resilience program, which captures our research, which is why I'm not stopping. And this is why I'm traveling all over the world to teach people that this can make a difference in your institutions. I think we should save lives for those who save ours, don't you? Would you like to get a copy of this research? Okay, afterwards I'm going to give a QR code and scan it. I would love to give you a copy, and I'd love to talk to you about how we work in partnership to make this better, because it needs to be a global movement that shifts the dial. Let's stop talking, let's start doing. I am going to try and put this a little bit softer, otherwise we're going to get blown out of the water. Now I've put it too soft. Oh wait, I don't have it plugged in. That doesn't help. My apologies. I'm almost finished, and then you can network and go home.
Time. The biggest contribution has been self-reflection.
The A.R.I.S.E. Resilient Research Program has profoundly impacted its participants, offering tools for personal and professional growth.
Making strides one at a time. The biggest contribution has been self-reflection among a peer group with common challenges. It's made me calmer and more accepting. The program has helped me address patient concerns in a more patient-centric way, making the journey more graceful.
This course has transformed how I receive feedback, encouraging me to embrace vulnerability and be less defensive. It has sparked a deep interest in resilience and change adaptation, enriching my personal and professional development. The skills I've learned have also improved my work-life balance.
I started the program at a time when I was looking to improve my work-life balance. The lessons I learned helped me to approach problems with a broader perspective, resulting in greater empathy and improved communication with my patients. This has made my work more satisfying and enjoyable.
The program has sharpened my awareness of reflex thoughts and their associated emotions, helping me manage stress and interact with patients more effectively. I've become more receptive to criticism, using it constructively to foster my growth.
The course has equipped me to handle stress more effectively, leading to better decision-making and more productive handling of difficult situations. Living the concepts taught in the program has the potential to positively impact those around me, fostering mindful, compassionate communities.
The Resilience Program has supported my ability to manage stress effectively. It has taught me to transform my vulnerabilities into strengths, enhancing my well-being. The supportive community has been invaluable, making me realize I am not alone.
Join a community of healthcare professionals dedicated to growth and resilience. Enroll in the A.R.I.S.E. Resilient Research Program today. Visit website to learn more and sign up.
If you'd like to get a copy of this research, please QR code. We're currently appointing partners across the world to help us move this program into the healthcare systems. It's needed, it's time.